Kai Havertz, a player that was said to have massive amounts of potential after leaving Bayer Leverkusen and joining Chelsea Football Club. But it seems that since that transfer at Stamford Bridge, he hasn't really been able to find himself. Yes, he's a winner of a UEFA Champions League and a Super Cup as well, but individually, he hasn't been that great. Today, we're going to be exploring the world of Kai Havertz and his move to Arsenal Football Club in the Premier League. Yo, what is going on, my people? 29 back here with another video, and in today's video, we're going to be, just like I said, talking about Kai Havertz's transfer to Arsenal. Before this video starts, I would like to point out two things. Number one, around 90% of you guys watching my videos are not subscribed, so if you guys can subscribe, that would mean a lot for my YouTube journey here with you guys. And the second thing I want to point out is if you guys want to join me on other social media platforms such as Discord, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those will be down in the description for you guys to check out. So the first thing I want to mention is his transfer actually got leaked on Twitter before the official announcement, and Havertz himself had to make a sort of letter here addressing the Chelsea fans about it, which I find it a little bit messed up. You never want to see that happen to a player. But his transfer has been official for a few days now. He has now joined Arsenal. And there is a lot of things to be said about this transfer. And the first thing that everyone is wondering is, will he succeed under Mikel Arteta at Arsenal? Well, the way I see it, I've been watching this guy for a very long time, ever since he was a kid at Bayer Leverkusen. For me, I think he, at that point, had one of the highest ceilings in world football. When he joined Chelsea, I was kind of hesitant, and I said to myself, it might work, it might not work. But one thing I did not expect Kai Havertz to do is to play as a striker, to play in a striker role. And that's what I heavily believe sort of ruined what he was going for, what he was striving for. He is not a striker, but he was pretty much forced to play as a striker at Chelsea. And you can see just by his stats that he isn't a very good striker, it pains me to say, but he isn't that great of a striker, and it showed at Chelsea. Sure, sometimes he's had moments of brilliance where he did score huge goals, to be honest. The Champions League final was an example. I can remember that header against Liverpool. That was a huge goal as well. Sometimes he has that moments of brilliance where you're like, yeah, that's the Havertz I've seen play at Bayer Leverkusen. At least that's how I felt. But now he's joining Arsenal, a team that already has a proper number 9 in Gabriel Jesus. I'm not sure if Mikel Arteta is planning on using him as a striker. And to be honest, I don't really hope he does. I hope Havertz plays behind Gabriel Jesus. I think that's where he would be most comfortable playing. Now, I must say this, Havertz playing as a striker, you know, just in general, a striker, they have that pressure of scoring goals, and that's where I feel it went wrong with Havertz. He had too much pressure on himself to do a lot. And he was at a very mediocre Chelsea team, let's be honest. I'm sorry, Chelsea fans, but the last few years, you know, pretty much since the Champions League that you guys have won, it hasn't been the best for the Chelsea team. And he was actually technically the top scorer, but he had less than 10 goals in the league. So that explains you Chelsea's situation in a nutshell. They're not doing well, so of course Havertz will not do well. But at Arsenal, I don't want him to play as a striker. I don't think he'll be good as a striker. I could be wrong. Maybe he might click with the other players. But at Chelsea, it did not work. He did not click with the others. Barely had any service. It just didn't work out. But if he does play behind someone like Gabriel Jesus, I kind of do feel like it can work, especially as I would say Arsenal's team does provide more service than Chelsea's team, at least from what I've seen in Premier League games. So perhaps that can kind of give an advantage to Kai Havertz to potentially do well at Arsenal. Because let's face it, this is his last chance in the Premier League, in my opinion. If he doesn't do well at Arsenal, I don't think he's gonna have any other transfer in England. He's probably gonna have to get out if it doesn't work out for him at Arsenal. But I do believe in him. I do think he is a good enough player for the Premier League. Still, even after everything, it is a very unpopular opinion, I understand. Will Kai Havertz work under Mikel Arteta at Arsenal? It all depends how Arteta uses him. If he does play behind a striker, I think he will do well. But if he does play purely as a striker, I'm not so sure then. And Arsenal have to make it right. They're in the Champions League this season, and Havertz is actually quite decent in the Champions League, even with Chelsea. He's had very good games. I would say he's been better in the Champions League in general than he's been in the league. So perhaps that can be a huge bonus for Arsenal, having a player that is very experienced in the Champions League, who has won it maybe they can emulate it again, right? I know it sounds like a joke for some of you, but hey, I'm not, again, an Arsenal or a Chelsea fan. I'm just here to report news and give my thoughts and opinions on certain football subjects. Nevertheless, that's what I think about this whole Kai Havertz debacle. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think Kai Havertz will flop again? Do you guys think he'll flourish under Mikel Arteta? That is all something we're going to have to wait and see next season. That's pretty much it. I know it was a very short video, but there isn't much else to say. Havertz joined Arsenal. Will he do well or not? Can he revive his career? It all depends on how it goes under Mikel Arteta. Like I said, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to smash our like button, subscribe as well to the channel. It really does help a lot. To join all of my social medias. Again, all of the links will be down in the description for you guys to check out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Damn, I'm on red alert. Now she went up in the dirt.